consult a guide called Things to Do on a Rainy Day in Michigan, topping the list would be the Henry Ford Museum, named after America's most famous industrialist. It wasn't only raining, it was snowing when Car Talk visited the museum earlier this year. But even if it was a perfect day for the beach, we wouldn't have missed it. This is not just a car museum. It captures various periods of American history in all their aspects. Henry Ford himself started collecting items for his museum soon after he started automobile production in the early 1900s. It's a fact that Henry Ford was in awe of Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb and the father of modern electricity. Thus, a major part of the museum is given over to early electrical and steam inventions, not least of which is the original steam-powered dynamo that first supplied electricity to downtown New York. Quite logically, steam and electricity also played a major role in production of the Model T Ford, the car that put America on wheels 100 years ago. Porsche sales in South Africa will approach the 800 mark this year. In Dubai, the number goes up to around 1,500. That's incredible for a country that has a population of less than 1.5 million. Not so strange, however, considering that some 80% of that population is made up of expatriates attracted by the vast riches of this Middle East tourism boomtown. On the beach, you may be confronted by the odd camel or two, and indeed, camel rides are common for safari packages, of which there are hundreds on offer. In 2006, more than 6.4 million tourists visited Dubai, and hotel occupancy apparently runs at 85%. The vast wealth in Dubai takes your breath away, and development continues at breakneck pace. Even more incredibly, some 2 decades ago, Dubai was little more than a dusty main street and a few buildings on the seaside. But we were in the Emirates to work, even if driving a Porsche to one of the few mountains in Dubai is not everyone's idea of 12 hours in a coal mine. Guten Tag. Looks like a classy set of wheels parked outside a pub in Germany. What else is new?
We are here in a wet Stuttgart, Germany. We have come to test drive the new and more enhanced Mercedes-Benz CLS 500 four-door sedan.
Okay, so realizing that Clint has a life outside of West Bank and Zwartkopf raceways is different, and seeing him in a Stuttgart suburb in a Merc with German plates is something to take note of. He was lucky enough to get hold of the latest CLS Merc during a short trip that would include track time at the famous Hockenheim GP circuit. This suburban sortie in Daimler Chrysler's hometown was an opportunity to sample what is probably the best-looking 2007 model Benz. Pity about the weather, lucky it has rain-sensing wipers. All the CLS models, including the 500 that Clint is exploring, feature an updated standard specification. The new adaptive brake system also makes pulling away on hills easier. The past few months have seen a flurry of CLS models make their appearance on South African roads. And with an upmarket interior like this, it's not hard to see why, especially when finished in the creamy leather of Clint's German model. It takes a while to acquaint yourself with the vast range of buttons, dials, panels, controls and hidden features that make the CLS not only a luxury model, but an ultra-luxury model. We've commented before that the CLS manages a very un-Germanic approach to its interior, and the panel work on both storage compartments and seats echoes the swoopy flowing lines of the exterior. This car had dark wood trim instead of the more common burr walnut, and happily for our man on his way to Hockenheim, the now obligatory navigation system. We don't know how Europeans survived without these aids in days past. The new CLS 500's V8 is directly out of the S-Class and is now more than competitive with power outputs of its BMW and Audi rivals. The charming coastal area of Cascais in Portugal was the scene of Nissan 360, the company's global showcase for its products. This was the second such event, and over 50 Nissan products were on hand to be sampled by journalists from all over the world.
And it's also really fuel efficient. So it's surprising that we're not going to see a car in South Africa like this, considering the way the fuel prices are going.
and 3,8 meters long, which indeed makes it the perfect Mediterranean curb crawler. Hopping from the Micro to the Titan gives some idea of Nissan's extreme diversity, not to mention the size of the company, which has 224,000 employees and has assembly plants in 25 countries. The Titan is built in Canton, Mississippi. It was named Most Appealing Pickup by J.D. Power and Associates in the States.
Especially on these roads in Qashqai, which are quite narrow, but there's no doubt that this car is built for the American market. Just the way it's all laid up, the feel of the knobs with all the warning signs and all of that.
A vehicle we'd love to see in rugged South Africa, parts of which pretty much resemble Portugal by the way, is this chunky Xterra. This one's built in Tennessee and the philosophy is basic SUV. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Did I hear you say fast? That was probably Oscar talking. The Estoril Grand Prix circuit is a different kettle of fish to the Nürburgring, not nearly as challenging. But because hundreds of journalists from all over the world were due to sample the car, the party poopers at Nissan had laid out cones to slow the journos down.
Being a young adult has lots of positives. I mean, you get to stay up late, go out partying, drive fancy cars, go racing, and even go skydiving. But at some point, one needs to consider being so-called grown up, you know? Get married, settled, have kids. Whoa. Well, when that time comes, it is time to consider getting an MPV. Are you comfortable?
Yeah!
See what I mean? If they're happy, I'm happy.
And just look where Hendricks in at the deep end approach has got him. Who said the boat people at the Val were an exclusive club? Oi, Hendrik, take it easy, baby. Don't let this new lifestyle go to your head. On the other hand, why the heck not? On the other hand, it seems that the catch for the day was pretty good. This just proves the old adage. Even out on the water, when it comes to a choice between wheels and no wheels, wheels win every time.